Dating isn't what it was a few decades ago. Men and women had different priorities and ambitions, and there was a different interplay going on between them. After the epidemic, traditional dating as we once knew it is no longer an option for the vast majority of individuals, and I sincerely doubt that it ever will be. In the past, men and women would gather in public locations to spend money and time on romance and companionship. They would employ the conventional manner of hooking up, where the male would have to expend all of his resources, including cash, time, and undivided attention, in order to satisfy the woman's desire for validation, while the woman would rather be showered with gifts and taken on pricey dates before having to appease the man. However, the dating concept is starting to break down, and you can believe me when I say that something new will replace it based on online social connections and the state of the global economy. Men and women alike are growing more and more concerned about how they will afford to pay for their monthly basic demands like utilities, rent, gas, phone, and internet bills, as well as indulge on dating, given how tough things are getting due to rising inflation. These hypothetical situations have a lot of weight, and they can guide our decisions on where to go. I want you people to look at the younger crowd and see how commercialized they have become, especially after the global epidemic. Look at the Instagram photos of women having fun on wealthy men's yachts and at how they promote their beauty on social media. Look at the young women searching for partners on websites for sugar daddies and the emergence of OnlyFans. It only takes a moment of reflection to understand what is happening. Because they desire more attention, cash, prestige, and recognition, they will openly promote themselves online in an effort to attract wealthy older men to look after them as they attend to their physical and occasionally social needs. Today, women brazenly exchange their time for cash. On these forums and venues, males are equally guilty of supporting women with their time and money. These events are taking place right now and are becoming more frequent in today's culture. In light of the oncoming global depression, women are now openly selling their time to sustain their income. If you have any questions about what I'm saying, all you have to do is look at these websites for sugar daddies, OnlyFans, and Instagram to see the evidence for yourself. But the bulk of you would rather live in denial and pretend that things you disagree with don't exist than face the reality. The majority of young women today engage in such things to earn extra money, so if you want to police morals, go ahead. Moreover, think about the current dating industry's powerful players. Not Generation X or baby boomers, but the younger generation, which has no difficulties taking part in these activities for little to no money, are creating problems for themselves in a way. You are not compelled to participate in it now, but this is the direction in which we are moving, and I'm only here to report on it, not to urge anyone to act in a way that they feel is wrong. You guys need to remember that dating and body trade are frequently intertwined, and I recently read an article that highlighted dating as a novel concept that has replaced courtship. People used to think it was improper for men to take women outside and entertain them. However, because we grew up witnessing others partake in the type of courtship that we now refer to as dating, it became the norm for us. Because of this, I believe that how we date in the future will change and develop into something else. I'll explain what ethically monogamous is for those who don't know because it's a new meaningless term that has just been adopted in place of the word polyamory. I predict it will have something to do with women selling their time, similar to what we see online in morally acceptable monogamy. In essence, ethical non-monogamy, the practice of having relationships that are not totally exclusive between two people, sounds better when it is referred to as polyamory. They change objects' meanings to suit people's emotions. Given the current status of the dating market, I brought up ethically non-monogamous relationships to show where we are going. I'll give you a relatable example so that you can all understand what I'm saying. Let's imagine that a young Generation Z woman has a partner who is about her age, and the two of them are unable to afford to pay all of their bills and living costs each month. The girl chooses to register with a sugar daddy website, and with her boyfriend's okay, she is allowed to go on dates in exchange for an extra of $100 to help them make ends meet. Things are improving for older, successful guys like us because this is probably the new dating paradigm. Young men will feel some pressure to agree that their partners will be using them as a source of income and side hustling their time. We'll refer to this behavior as ethical monogamy or open relationships. If you're still not persuaded, just look at the ladies who have lovers on OnlyFans. These lovers obviously don't mind if their partners let their partners flaunt it in front of thousands of men who are riveted to their screens. Some of her partners are compelled to follow her lead and perform in front of the camera because she makes more money than he does. Other times, if the material becomes monotonous and the boyfriend is the only person with the girl, she may call in a fan or another OnlyFans star to get some action on camera in order to keep her subscribers happy, and the boyfriend will have to put up with it. Due to the global economy's deteriorating state, we are headed in this absurd direction. Believe me when I predict that the legislation will change to partially legalize pay-for-play relationships between men and women because the new dating paradigm will be ethical non-monogamy. The government won't help women on their own out of respect for morality. In the end, they won't care about women in that sense, so either they'll tax men and give all the money to women, or they'll legalize pay-for-play arrangements between men and women through traditional dating and marriage. When things are tough, women will openly sell their time, as harsh as it may sound. Let's examine current dating app activities to back up my assertion. Given that at least 80% of women prefer to date the top 20 men on dating apps, we have the argument of hypergami and women initially picking high-value guys. While the bottom 80% of men can hardly get a date with one woman without getting convicted. Sincerity dictates that women would rather date a man who can meet their needs than one they believe to be lower in status. What distinguishes that from the 90-10 rule or the women who are a part of contemporary harems? The moment you open your eyes, you'll see that what I'm saying is actually happening. Take Andrew Tate or Dan Bilzerian as an example. Both of them are high-value, affluent men, therefore I can't image either of them dating just one woman. No, I see that both males have a group of women surrounding them who are happy to share these men. If I'm being honest, I think these women are part of a collective harem. I know that most women are paid to be seen with these guys, but they look quite content with it because they get good money and a shot at fame themselves. If I may add, I believe that most men will find this to be effective. If guys were more financially independent, they wouldn't need to approach women and spend money on dinner dates and other unnecessary things simply to go on a typical date. As an alternative, any man can create a profile on a website for sugar daddies and wait for the women to approach him. The price to get what you really want might therefore range from several hundred to several $1,000s, depending on the kind of women you want. I'm trying to get across to you guys, the men of today, that you need to be very conscious of how the dynamics of social ties are changing right now. The idea that morality has changed over the past 20 years is tenable. Men and women maintaining exclusive partnerships while participating in several relationships may not have been acceptable in the past, but it is now the norm. Despite the fact that it is now so accepted that you cannot even challenge it, I don't believe it works for even a moment. Social media and the pandemic that has aggravated the situation of the global economy have also significantly altered this dynamic. I advise being cautious and skeptic when and if you decide to date them, because women may now openly sell their time for money on these platforms and they feel it's okay to do so, or because they have no other option. Since women will now sell their time to the highest bidder in order to live a decent life, if this is the case in your relationship, know that it will never be the same again. In my opinion, the preferable course of action is to choose to maintain your integrity and go your own path, which is evident from the exponential rise of mgtow men. So, dating as we know it is no more. The dynamics between men and women have completely evolved since the last couple of decades, and it seems that more and more are now turning away from dating women who have unlimited choices to choose from. Thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.